This is the CATL third generation Qilin battery.
It don't matter where it takes you, 'cause it's never gonna.
On one full charge, you can drive all the way from Paris to Munich.
This car looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, all you need to do is fly high. Don't lose yourself now. You are the aim.
Engineers just took a nail and drove it straight through a battery on purpose. That same battery still works at -40°C, a temperature that turns most EV batteries into expensive bricks. Here's the part that should really get you. There is zero lithium in it, and it's not a lab prototype. It's already driving on public roads in China, right now, today. So how did the battery industry, an industry that bet over $1 trillion on lithium, miss this? Let's get into it. The deal that broke the industry's brain. CATL, the company making batteries for Tesla, BMW, Ford, and Mercedes, shipped about 122 gigawatt-hours of battery capacity in all of 2025. One single sodium battery order just signed is roughly half that entire year's output for a battery chemistry that wasn't even in mass production 12 months earlier. And it's not just China. A separate deal just wired the same sodium chemistry directly into Europe's power grid. This isn't a China-only experiment anymore. It's already infrastructure on 2 continents. But to get why this matters, you need to know what sodium was up against and why everyone thought it was impossible to beat. Why lithium seemed unbeatable. Lithium has had a 30-year head start. It went from a camcorder battery in 1991 to laptops, phones, and every EV on the road today. Prices dropped 99%. Over $1 trillion poured into lithium supply chains. By the 2020s, lithium wasn't just winning. It was the only option anyone seriously considered. But that dominance was quietly hiding 3 problems. And if you've ever owned an EV, you've probably felt at least one of them yourself. The 3 cracks nobody talks about. First, fire. When a lithium cell gets punctured or overheats, it doesn't just fail, it ignites, and the fire jumps to every cell packed next to it. This is what grounded Samsung's Galaxy Note 7 in 2016 and cost the company $5 billion. That was a phone. By 2026, lithium battery fires had become the leading cause of fatal fires in New York City. Here's why this matters to you. That's not a rare freak accident anymore. It's a known, ongoing risk that insurance companies and fire departments are actively dealing with today. Second, cold weather. Below freezing, lithium batteries can lose 20 to 40% of their range, not because anything's broken, just because it's cold. If you live somewhere winter actually happens, that's potentially over 100 kilometers of range gone before you've even left your driveway. And when the battery finally does need replacing, you're looking at a bill anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000. Here's why this matters to you. This is the single biggest reason EVs still struggle to sell in cold climate countries like Canada, Norway, and northern China. Third, the supply chain. Lithium prices went up 13 times in 2 years, then crashed 70% the next year. Try building a 5-year EV pricing strategy on a material that behaves like a meme stock. Car companies couldn't hit price targets, governments couldn't plan. So the entire industry was building its future on a material with a fire problem, a cold problem, and a price problem. And everyone just accepted it because there was no alternative. Except there was. It had been sitting in a filing cabinet for over 50 years. The element everyone forgot about Ford actually built a working sodium battery back in 1966. It even beat lithium on energy storage. The catch? It only worked above 300 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt lead. Nobody was putting that under a hood. Then, in 1972, lithium cracked the room temperature problem. All the research money followed it, and sodium got shelved. Not because it was proven worse, just because everyone stopped looking. There was one real technical wall, though, and it's simple. Sodium ions are bigger than lithium ions. Think trying to fit a golf ball into a slot built for a marble. Every time sodium forced its way into the material lithium uses, it wrecked the structure. After a few hundred charges, the battery was junk. That one problem kept sodium out of the race for 40 years. But that's not where this story gets interesting. The fix that sat in a science journal for 20 years. In the year 2000, 2 Canadian researchers tried something that made no sense on paper. Instead of building a cleaner, more organized material, which is what every other battery breakthrough had done, they built one that was deliberately messy, full of gaps and disorder at the atomic level. And inside that mess, sodium finally had somewhere to sit without breaking anything. They called it hard carbon. It had one flaw. All those gaps also soaked up moisture like a sponge, and moisture slowly poisons a battery from the inside. At small scale, you could manage it. At the scale of building millions of car batteries, it was a deal breaker. For 25 years, that single flaw kept sodium out of production, until CATL spent $1.5 billion trying to kill it. How CATL actually cracked it. Here's the short version, because the real headline isn't the chemistry, it's what it does to the price tag. CATL coated every particle to repel moisture instead of absorbing it. They learned to control the size of those internal gaps down to almost atomic precision. And then they made one decision the copper industry really didn't want to hear about. They ripped copper out of the battery completely and replaced it with aluminum, cutting a major cost by roughly 70% in one move. Here's why this matters to you. Every one of those fixes stacks directly into the price of the battery, and that price is the whole reason this story exists. We'll get to the number in a second, and it's a big one. The result is a battery called Naxtra, and this is where it stops being a chemistry story and starts being a car industry story. What this actually means for you behind the wheel energy density, 175 watt-hours per kilogram, beating BYD's Blade battery, currently in some of the best-selling EVs on the road at 160. Sodium isn't catching up anymore, it's ahead. Cycle life, over 10,000 charge cycles, roughly 5 to 6 million kilometers before the battery drops below 80% health. Charge it every single day without missing one, and it would still be going strong after 27 years. That's longer than most people keep their car. Here's why this matters to you. This is a battery pack you likely never replace for as long as you own the vehicle. Cold weather, remember the reveal from the start? At negative 40 degrees, it holds 90% of its capacity. At negative 50, it still works. No production car has ever needed to survive that. Here's why this matters to you. If you live somewhere with real winters, this is the first EV battery that doesn't quietly steal your range every time the temperature drops. Charging, 80% in 15 minutes at room temperature. Even locked in a deep freeze at negative 30, it still hits 80% in half an hour. That morning scraping ice off your windshield while praying your battery didn't tank overnight? Gone. And now, the safety test we opened with. Nails, a mechanical press, a hacksaw, deliberate overcharging, and China's new 2026 national safety standard built around surviving a worst-case crash. Naxtra is the first sodium battery in history to walk through all of it without a single fire, spark, or puff of smoke. Then, the number that changes everything, $19 per kilowatt hour in mass production, against $55 to $80 for today's lithium iron phosphate cells. Here's why this matters to you. At that price, the battery in a small EV costs less than the metal panels around it. Price, the last real excuse people had for not buying an EV, just disappeared. This isn't a concept car, it's already on the road. Right now, in China, a production sedan called the Chang'an Navoa 6 is running a real commercial fleet on Naxtra, the first car in history with zero lithium in its battery. CATL also opened over 100 battery swap stations in a single month, where drivers trade a dead pack for a full one in under 4 minutes, faster than filling a gas tank. BYD looked at the same element and bet the opposite direction, building sodium purely for grid-scale energy storage instead of cars. Two of the biggest battery companies on Earth, both going all in on sodium, just aiming at two completely different markets. When that happens at the same time, it usually means the real disruption hasn't even started yet. The one thing CATL won't put on a billboard sodium is heavier and bulkier than lithium, and no amount of engineering fully erases that. For long-range luxury EVs, planes, and phones, anywhere every gram counts, lithium isn't going anywhere. So CATL's real answer wasn't to replace lithium, it was to stop making them compete. Their new dual power pack splits one battery into two zones, sodium and lithium, run by the same software. Cold morning start or a quick top-up, sodium handles it. Long highway drive, where range matters most, the system quietly shifts the load to lithium. Neither chemistry gets pushed past what it's actually good at, and the car that comes out the other end performs better than either one could alone. One honest caveat before you go. Naxtra only hit commercial scale at the end of 2025. Lithium earned its 15-year track record of real winters and real driveways the slow way. Sodium's clock just started ticking. But given everything it already survived on day one, the nails, the hacksaw, negative 40 degrees, it's off to a start no one saw coming.